Hello everyone, my name is Pierre-Louis from the Pierre-Louis Co. Today I'm going to be teaching you from the Adobe Premiere Suite how to import footage.
Let's close this project. Okay, so now we're going to open a new project, Adobe Premiere Importing. As you can see, we were saved at 35 millimeters, which is the correct size because I have a camera that's set for Sony. That's the Sony FS100. It's 1080p, so we would need all of the files to match 1080p with the conversion of going into the importing process. So you'll make sure all the files in this case set for 1080p with HD. Audio samples remain the same. As you can see, we're not messing with DV anymore or any mini DV tapes. This will be HDV. So it's HD video. You already have the name Adobe Premiere Importing Final. So it's like the name of your project, and let's save it to your desktop. So now we know where everything is going to be saved. It makes more sense to keep everything in line. So we know it's saved right here, this folder. We know that it's HD video. We know that it's 35 millimeters for your camera, and it's not Super 16. It's not a smaller camera. It's 35 millimeters. And we're going to go in. Okay, so like I was explaining, the camera itself works off of chips. So it doesn't work off of anything else. As you can see, there's plenty of cameras that is mentioned that's already saved that comes with the program. But if you can't find your exact camera, just look for a different card or a different chip or your importing process to make sure that you are doing it correctly. So right now I have my AVCHD chip set up to the Sony importing conversion piece of equipment, and so far we already have a reading of it. It's called entitled right here, and we want to make sure that it's saved to the exact formatting that we had from before. Like for instance, where it says 1080p 60, that means 60 frames per second. So I didn't have my camera set on 60 frames per second. Most cameras are usually already set at 24 frames per second, which comes out to be 23.976 frames per second. So if anything, we're looking at a way to keep track of what we're saving the camera, and a way to log it perfectly with the editor's log when it comes time to saving it in. So there's no problem with your files. There's no problem importing any files. There's no problem saving any files at all. So since we already have it set for AVCHD, my card that came with the computer, and that came with the camera and the 1080p, and we know we had to save to 24 frames per second. It should be no problem from here. So let me go ahead and write out my sequence title, importing final. Okay, so now you have your windows open. As you can see, there's so many things that you can learn from Adobe. It's hard to pinpoint where to start, but I'm starting off with importing because I feel like that's the best way to start when it comes to going out and playing with a camera, or going out and just getting a new camera. You want to see what your camera can do, and you also want to bring it into the editing program and get used to the feel of the same process. So when you bring in footage, just remember that you want to bring in footage to this window right here, and you also want to keep your footage organized. When you're keeping your footage organized, it's the best practices of the trade. Keeping organized, making sure everything is where it is, so you know exactly what you're doing. Like let's matter of fact create a bin. Importing interview stand up. Let's make another one. QuickTime screen recording. So now we have two bins. We have the importing interview, which I did earlier, and you have the QuickTime screen print, which will be imported once this video is completed. Okay, and there's so many things like I was saying that we can use. I'm going to go over some of the features that Adobe Premiere has. As you can see, you have the viewer window. When you import something, it's the viewer window. When you have this is your final edit viewer, and this is your editing layout right here. Right here, this is all the things that your cursor can turn into, from anything from zooming in to the pen tool to the cut tool, the razor tool, to the selection tool. And you also have your audio levels right here to keep track of your audio levels and make sure that you're not peaking anywhere else. You're not peaking anywhere throughout the whole video. So now let's import. See what we can do with our import. Stream. Let's only take clip 8 because I believe that's the last time I did. I had to do it 8 times before I got it correctly. So let's take clip 8. Remember, it's going into the interview bin to keep everything organized. So I already have one item in there, and let's import again. Let's take 11. I'm only going to take the last one because I have in my editor's log already that these were the last 2 chosen. Those last 2 takes were the one that was chosen as the best takes. So once you go into you open up your bin, you have your first video file right here that you double click, and now you can see it in your preview window. And that's me right there giving you kind of like a quick discussion of what is the best. What are we going to be discussing, and what should we do? So we're going to take the whole file. We're going to take the whole file. Right now we're just dragging the marker to see where we're going to stop. We can stop right there, and we're going to drag the file to the editing surface, to the editing layout. Okay, let's hear playback to see if it's good.
Hello everyone, my name is Pierre-Louis from the Pierre-Louis Co. Today I'm going to be teaching you from the Adobe Premiere Suite how to import footage.
Perfect. And let's go ahead and check for audio levels. Looking at the audio levels, you want to make sure the audio levels are with green or are at the green or yellow. You don't want to make sure it's because once you get to yellow orange or yellow red, that's when you really start peaking, and that's when it could be distortion. It could be a messed up file. It could be it's not good to have up to yellow red. But there's different things that you can add to it, like different effects to add to it to making sure that your file is perfect. When you're going into the audio side, you can lock your windows. You can unlock them to work with just audio. Like if you only want to just video, you lock your audio tabs. You lock your audio tab, and the audio didn't move. Or you can go right back to it and adjust both at the same time once you unlock it again. So once you unlock it again, you go to adjust with both times. You can adjust with both of them, and it's back to adjusting with both of them. Okay, so now let's go into effects. Add different video effects to the project. Say if we want to make the project a little more green, or we want to color correct it. Let's go to color correct. Color correction right here. All we have to do from here is drag the color corrector onto the file on your editing surface. So once we drag it, you still can't see it here because you're still looking at your preview from before, from this clip, the clip that's been untouched. Once you double click it, however, then that's when you get to see that you can make adjustments to it with the effects control, because we already added that effect to your cursor, to your edit video surface, your editing surface. So here's us adding red to it to make it look different, or taking away red to make it look very blue, or keeping it as is, keeping it very normal, keeping it as is. Same thing with blue. We can do the same thing with blue. It looks a little better. It looks a little more blue, but So yeah, so there we go. It's perfectly color corrected right now. And let's have it play back.
Hello everyone, my name is Pierre-Louis from the Pierre-Louis Co. Today I'm going to be teaching you from the Adobe Premiere Suite how to import footage.
Okay, so there we go. We just learned how to import footage. Just to reiterate everything that I said, you have your effects tab right here, where you saved all your footage into its bins. You kind of like slide your mouse to the right, no, I'm sorry, to the left, and you can pull in different effects to help save your video or audio. Just like when we were saying it was distorted or anything, we can balance it, we can bypass it, we can add more bass, add different things to the audio track to make sure that it sounds clear and clear as possible. But there's no problem with the audio so far, so everything was in the green. As you can see, everything was in the green. It barely touched yellow. So that's perfect. It never went up to red. So that's basically it. And like I said, this is how your video is supposed to come out. So let's add a video transition to it, making sure that it looks professional. That both audio and video have now fades added to it. What I did, I just right clicked and I went to default audio, no, default video transition, which gives them both the same transition. It gives you a fade for the audio, and it gives you a fade cross cut. It gives you a fade for the cross dissolve. Sorry, for the video. So now let's watch the fade.
Hello everyone, my name is Pierre-Louis from the Pierre-Louis Co. Today I'm going to be teaching you from the Adobe Premiere Suite how to import footage.
Okay, let's give it a little more space because I think we were able to do a L cut or a J cut, but I'll show you that a little later in the next video. Okay, so if there's any questions or comments in regards to what we discussed so far, just let me know. Like I said, we're learning together and we're practicing together the trade of editing and the wonders of this powerful tool, Adobe Premiere Pro. Just leave your questions and comments below, and we'll try to make a video. I'll try to make a video for everyone that asks me a question on Adobe Premiere to make sure that everybody is up to date and everybody has the working tools and the experience and the navigational. They're not afraid of the program's navigation or program's settings or anything else that has to do with Adobe Premiere. Okay, so that'll be all for today, guys. Have a good day. Okay, now remember, Pierre-Louis Code will be covering everything that has to do with Adobe Premiere. So if you have any questions on Adobe Premiere, just leave them, send me a direct message or leave it in your comments, and I'll be sure to go over it with another vlog for you. Okay, so have a good day. I'm out of here.